Hello electronic tricyclists, I would first like to, by tradition, apologize for my absence of suckiness, for I have neglected the internet for much too long to basically study my ass off. Today I'm going to be discussing the controversial topic of last week. Deception in the writing of history is a huge, slobbery monster maze of controversy. Texas happens to be the second largest textbook industry in the nation, which means Texas has influence over the publishers that publish history texts, which in effect affects what we as students are learning about history. I'll post my sources for the gathered information in the underbar if you're interested. Similar to news being written about by news reporters, historical accounts of the past are in a way reported by historians. In either job, objectivity and accuracy is considered key in reporting events. This provides readers or students with unbiased accounts from which they can form their own opinion. However, because there are different ways of presenting history, what actually happened in the past is vulnerable to reinterpretation and critique. And so, important details can be unintentionally and/or intentionally left out. So as Santayana, an author of a 1905 published work called The Life of Reason, put it, history is always written wrong, and so always needs to be rewritten. But what factors are the basis of deception in history? A. Historians that don't do their job well make mistakes. B. The interpretation of an event is slanted by the historian's writing style. C. Historical accounts are constrained or changed by the wishes of publishers and community groups. D. Historians and the public view past events through personal biases. Or E. All of the above. If you chose E, A+. You are correct. Rarely does a historian aim to produce an intentionally flawed historical account, even when they have admitted personal views. However, common causes of distortion come from glorifying the past and creating heroes. And as Mark L. Knapp, author of Lying and Deception and Human Interaction, put it, I quote, "Sometimes the history we learn is about people and events that fulfill the images we wish for." End quote. And so, some historians carry on with false-stirring quotes and inspiring patriotic tales. Awesome. Because it's what we want to hear, right? Yeah. Which brings me to the groups that have such influential biases. Both right and left-wing groups want the writing of history to comport with their values, politically and religiously. And this often results in somebody skimming over unfavorable events in history to make one party look innocent, or someone emphasizing the failures of another party, blah blah blah. For example, the pro-Islam / anti-Christian bias controversy in the textbooks. It's controversial. The Texas Board of Education found this unfavorable, and so required publishers to follow new guidelines of the recent narrowly passed resolution, which was actually 7-6. Now, based on news and articles, I will explain my beefs with the Texas Board of Education. The Texas Board of Education believes that certain textbooks could not be used in Texas because it contained information about prostitution that was inappropriate for high school students. However, the underlying thought process here was that it made Texas look bad. Well, why is this? Well, a certain textbook called Out of Many, A History of the American People had a section called Cowboys and Prostitutes. The book says during the second half of the 19th century, 50,000 women west of the Mississippi worked as prostitutes. In cattle towns, these unmarried teens and girls in their early 20s were through. They were through with underpaid jobs, and so they felt prostitution was of the few alternatives they could find in these western towns. The Texas Board of Education believed that it was an unflattering depiction of the West and even exaggerated. And they believed such powerful content could influence a student's behavior and values. Well, tough cookies, Texas, because that's how it happened, and rewriting history is selfish. Prostitution happens to be the oldest job going, and although I'm not a fan, it's true. Also, they removed Thomas Jefferson from the Texas curriculum, replacing him with religious right icon John Calvin. Whoa! Whoa. Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, you remove Thomas Jefferson. How does such a historical figure become absent in American history? A. He was closely connected with Unitarianism and the religious philosophy of deism. B. He questioned the existence of God. C. He rewrote the New Testament to what he believed to be factual information. Or D. All of the above. If you chose D, correct again. You know, I really think you're getting the hang of this. And I think everyone should make it their mission to rake through the information that is traditionally taught. Alright, end of lecture. Thanks for sticking with me this long, but I could tell that your ears were going to melt off into oblivion, so I'm just going to spare you. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and if you guys have any insight onto this topic, go ahead and post a video response down below, and it would be much appreciated, and I would spend all of my time watching it over and over. Bye.